And then congratulations to, we have somebody famous in our midst. Well, probably lots of you. Everybody seen this so far? Our magazine from the MOA. Let's hear it for Andrew Beattie and his 7-page article. Andrew sitting there very calmly. I won't try and pronounce it, but anybody that's not read it, we've got one copy here, and I think Amy actually has posted it onto our new Facebook page. It's not a group page anymore; it's a site, isn't it?
It's a page. It's not a group anymore.
Okay, well, something like that. Anyway, it's there for the article, and we've got a copy here. But congratulations, Andrew! It's a fabulous article, and for anybody that's not aware of it, it's all about small motels, sort of off the beaten track, that are not Howard Johnson's or Holiday Inn Express and things of that, places that have actually got character and that we love to stay at.
Don't go to a motel. Just don't bring the microphone.
Keep talking. That's not something I usually hear. It's more like, shut up, Fiona, enough already. He's trying to test me. Anyway, forgive us, this evening's a bit of a test run, so I'm afraid it won't be terribly professional at my end, although my beautiful assistant here, Jeffrey, has got a lot more talent, and we'll get to talking about him in a little bit, good or bad. Finally, our season is only a few days away. I thought it was almost there, and then Ray, who lives out in Lanark, near where we live as well, I don't know about you guys in the city, but we got about another 4 or 5 inches of snow at the weekend. Hallelujah. So our season is almost here, though, and we're looking forward to it desperately. We promised you a new interactive website for the 1st of April, which I think was a brave date to choose, quite frankly. But we did go public, the public side of the website last week. Who here has had a quick look at the public side of the new site? Yeah. Good, great, thank you. I won't ask you what you thought. I'm just checking in that you've looked. We'll get to that later. There'll be a poll in about 2 years that gives you the chance to give your opinion on it. But actually, we were thrilled because the statistics that night showed over 100 visits. Now, it may have just been 2 or 3 of you and Jeffrey's mum and people like that that were busy looking. But we're very encouraged by the stats coming through so far. And tonight, we're obviously going to reveal the rest of the site, which is really the 80% that you've not seen yet. So let's kick off by looking at our interactive side of the website. And Jeff is just going to log in, give you a quick rundown on that.
I knew there was a reason I was here.
Before he starts, because I've got the microphone, I would just like to say that the whole site so far, I'd just like to recognise the people that have worked pretty much non-stop over the winter, at least 3 months worth, on this programme. Mark Hill, our membership director, standing over here. John Lang, he denies everything, but John did a lot of, he was, along with Mark, they really to talk to you about the really cool stuff though. So first and foremost, we can see is about to log into our new members website. And one of the things that we wanted to do here was to get a very secure presence, as secure as anybody can be on the web. So that is what we now have for you. And we're all set. In the future, we may go to the online payments. I just want to talk to this very quickly, that for this year, there's a number of things that we'll do in the fall with extra content and so forth, get some feedback over the summer. And we'll also be revisiting at that time whether to go to the full online payments. We are a volunteer organisation. Our membership dues are very modest. There are some costs associated with merchant accounts and online payments and such. So for now, we maintain our Interact transfer method as the preferred payment for any dues or any registrations that become part of what goes on in the coming year. So just to explain to you why we're in that kind of a reasonable amount of visits, my blog, if anybody else here feels like they'd like to do a blog, we'd love to hear from you, hopefully with a little bit of talent, more than mine wouldn't be hard, and we can get some more relevant stuff up here for regular visits. But we'd like to be able to feature the Meet a Member to get to know each other a little bit more over time. I'm told that this is Jeff and Marcy in the tunnel at Brockville. If anybody recalls that ride of last year, the railway tunnel there with all the lighting in it.
I want to say that I put this picture up under duress.
Yeah, that was...
My wife is not here to be mortified either, so
I think she's downtown with the lawyer putting in for divorce proceedings right now. But we hope that you will find a course to go back here. And Jeff, if you could just scroll down on the homepage for us briefly. So if you're wondering what to wear and you're about to dash out the house to an event, and a little further you'll see our widgets. This is, we went a bit crazy with widgets, but basically everything is subdivided out into rides, socials and training that you can quickly see when the next activities are and be able to get a bead on that. You've seen some of those last week, but now we're not going there this minute, but you can drill down through there and quickly get to that activity and everything that you need to know about it. Sorry, I'm trying to keep out the way of the food, but not get into the middle of the feedback loop on the microphone there. Let's move over onto our full-blown calendar, please, Jeff. So again, interactive calendar that you can now get a quick look at. And you'll notice the center of the screen says April 2019. That, and then at either side you've got March and May. I was, on a personal level, I got confused because I used to think this was the month we were on, but you kind of get used to that after a while. But there are a lot of activities that are coming up even in this first month of May. And just to branch off, we have got the Garmin workshops coming up. And I'm just going to refer to a sheet here because Mark Thompson did ask me to remind the following people. Ross Brotzman, Philippe Santamour, Mark Hill, David Wright, Jean-Denis Crepeau, Ray Hemmerling, Tony Street. These are all people that are meant to turn up at Mark's workshop. Denise Charlebois, Graham Collins, Simon Hanna, Jean-Philippe Crepeau, Marc Soulier, Larry Nesbitt, Jill Martin and Laurie Reith. So if you're here and your name just got read out, you're supposed to be at that workshop and you signed up a while ago. Mark is heavily oversubscribed. So if your plans have changed, could you kindly tell him so that one of the people that's in the waiting lineup can get asked to come forward and participate in that event. The month of May, if you would mind just go on briefly to it, please. And we can see there, just wanted to highlight that we do have the International Female Ride Day on May the 4th. And we also have the Cafe Club on the 2nd. So the 2nd is actually the first ride of any kind. The short ride out for coffee of an evening, our first Cafe Club of the season, and we hope you'll all try and get out for that at the Aylmer Marina. And then the Merrickville Mingle, ladies and gentle people. So if Jeff has just drilled into the Merrickville Mingle, and you can see there that how you can easily access the details of an event. We will have the ride plan up there later, as we will with all of the rides. So the calendar you can drill right down to, and I think that's adequate for a quick experience of how it works. It's not, as they say, rocket science. Onto the media tab then, please, Jeff, could back out. And a couple of things. A lot of stuff is self-evident. We're not going to go right through it with you. But the e-blasts, you know how you've been getting the President Says messages for a while. There will be the occasional message out now. A lot of this is obviously self-service. But the messages that do come out, if you don't get them, say you're on holiday or you just don't care for a few weeks, this is the e-blasts are where you could go back and just catch up with things that have happened. So that may be of interest occasionally. And also the photos and videos here. There is the opportunity for photo albums that will be posted by the club, and also any individual member can choose to upload their own photos and make their own albums. So we hope that everybody will have fun playing around with that a little bit. And also I'd like to talk about the video element, which is where you would go to find all of the good stuff, the meetings that we've had recently, access to our YouTube channel, and again, Jeff and Amy are the people that have pulled that together, and Peter is the person that's generated the bulk of our content for that so far. And this, if you haven't already seen it, this is a fabulous little one by Jean-Philippe, who will be doing some more stuff on the GS rides as the season goes on. The art is one of the club activities, so looking under activities, I'm just going to throw it over to Jeff, who is, along with Francois, who is the administrative lead on Art School. Jeff is also, in his spare time, our head coach. So I'll just pass over the microphone so that he doesn't have to shout, and let him talk to you a little bit about Art School.
Well, I'll keep the focus mostly on the website application here. What we wanted to do was bring together all the club activities that we're doing, including Art School, and sort of a one-stop shop for information. In the past, it was a lot of email trails and PDF documents floating back and forth, and we'll still have some of that this spring. Actually, very shortly, that stuff will be going out, courtesy of Francois and myself. But also, the information is going to be available on the website. So this is just, when you get to activities, once you're logged in. In fact, this is also available on the public side, since we have non-members who are going to be attending as well. So you click onto Art School, you arrive on this page, and a picture of Fiona and myself. Again, I put that there under duress, so she made me do it. But that's the interview that we did at the potluck. Just a description about ART for those who aren't familiar with it. Again, thinking that this is a member from the public coming in or somebody new to the club who doesn't know what we're all about. Some FAQs here where they can drop down the list, who it's for, why we run it, little details, some advertising posters and so on. A little promo here as to why, every street rider could use a cornering school day or a track day to further their skills. And from here, basically, we wanted a place where we can do registration and student resources. So if a person was interested enough, they could go and register. Now, currently, the registration points us to the old website until next year. So for now, we're still using the old website for registration. That's just for ease for myself in terms of managing the online registrations. So that's going to get us there. Why it's not working, I don't know, but there we go. So this is where registration can happen. If a person is interested, they come in here. There's a few more FAQs as well, sort of pertaining to registration, how to send the money in to Tony and the rest of us. And they click on the link, it takes us to the old website. Next year, of course, that'll be under the new website. All registrations will happen through. Just because of the crossover, I didn't want to confuse that and just keep the process that we have now working. Also, we wanted to add a couple more links up the top here. There's going to be one for coaches. They'll access only for the coaches, and also for student resources. So once you've registered, you want to find out more. In fact, anybody can come in here and take a look at it and learn, more about what we're going to do on ART Day, or even some background information. There's going to be a few videos, logistics in terms of where we're going to stay or potentially could stay. And any details that might be sent out on email are going to be available to the students here. And this is all mobile friendly, so if they're on their phone or whatever it is, they can access that from here. Required writing gear for ART and so on and so forth. There's a lot of information on this page by design, because it's really the stuff a person would need before they attend ART. We also put together a cornering series here. So this is a direct link to a YouTube playlist that we put together to sort of walk somebody through the basics of cornering and dissecting sort of what we're going to do and learn throughout ART. Some extra reading. The student handbook, which some of you are probably familiar with, is also accessible through here, as well as extra background reading. If you want to have your lawyer review, the waiver's all in here. I won't bore you with that now, but it's there. We recommend you read it ahead of time. Save you time on track day. Some of the links aren't available yet because we just don't have the information available yet. In terms of scheduling, I'll keep scrolling down. This is a large page. Each of the groups will be here once they're ready, closer to ART, and the full daily schedule. And once you're done, there'll be a link at the bottom. We'll activate a link where there's going to be an online survey, which, much like in past years, Francois put together a survey to sort of help us improve the program year to year. We get feedback from the students, and some good ideas come out of that, frankly. So that all will be accessible through this Club Express system. That's all I have.
That's all you've got.
That's all I got.
Thanks, Jeff. How many people are going to art school this year? Wow. Pretty good going. And then we're oversubscribed, eh? Or we're full up in a waiting list.
That's right. We have a few on waiting list, although we do recommend, if you're interested, to register, because we do end up using the waiting list typically every year. So there's only, I think we've got 4 or 5, I think, now on the waiting list, and those typically will get used up. So the more the merrier. If you're interested, register, and hopefully a spot will come available.
Okay. We have one extra thing, Jeff, that we're just going to go in. Can you just go back to the activities page for us and the rides, please? So this is just one of the 6 different activities that we've got all the rides broken down with information. And just scroll right down to the bottom here, because we have back up. Oh yeah, I got carried away. We've got like aerial plans from 50,000 feet.
Sorry.
Surprise, surprise.
I went a little widget happy that day. So.
Just widget your way back up. I want to see the international piece, please.
You want to see this?
Okay, the international
Oh,
piece.
yeah.
Now there's somebody in this picture is in this room right now. Who knows who this is? Solange, where are you? I do believe this is Solange standing there at the top of the mountains. Anyway, obviously can't see that from here, but the reason that I want to raise that international flag with you, no pun, is that Michelle Desloin, where are you? Okay. Yeah, thank you. Michelle and Tony Street. Tony, okay. Oh, they're working together already. Isn't that a thing of beauty? They weren't even talking to each other this time last year. It's all good. No, I'm just kidding. So, Michelle and Tony, from their extensive experience of foreign travel, foreign motorcycling, are already collaborating on a draft of a plan for us for our trip for 2020. So Michelle just wanted us to mention that to you tonight. We are waiting for word back. At the moment, we are looking at the Pyrenees, and that's the first idea up there. And we've talked to, or Michelle has talked to a company that is very familiar with. We're waiting for a reasonable proposal from them, and we expect in the May meeting that we will have something fairly solid to present to you as an opportunity. So looking forward to that. Hey, the man himself. Area where you'll find some interesting stuff, everything about the Making Award that you've just seen, and then some. On the leadership area of this, we will also draw that to your attention. That photograph was meant to go away. Thanks, Jeffrey. I'll continue calling him that till it goes. But basically, we want to try and give as many people as possible the opportunity to stand into leadership roles going forward in the club. And this is an area that you have the opportunity to check out for yourselves and review, and hopefully choose to participate in some way. It can be a lot of work, but it's also an awful lot of fun. So if your schedule permits, I would certainly encourage you to take that opportunity. The contact us is also to be found under the club info, and that is any inquiries that you wish to make, any complaints, although probably not too many, and lots of compliments, as many as you can fit in, and feel free to submit, and as many as you would like to at any given time. The final area on there is the member info, and I am going to throw it to Jeff on there, because this is where there's a lot of the meat of the matter in terms of the GPX files and some of the other very lovely resources.
I'll keep it very brief because we're running a little long here, but when you get your login tomorrow, you get to play around on your own and dig around through the site. There's lots of goodies in here. One of the things we wanted to do was to tie everything together in the club in terms of resources that we had available and some of the club history, which we're still building, and have it all in one place. And that was kind of one of our driving forces here. Also, the membership management engine behind this is quite powerful. So once everybody is lined up in there, you'll be able to find a member, just by searching by last name. Winnie the Pooh we had in there for a while, so that's not there anymore. We'll go with Fiona. Cannot type. There you go. So once you get a person, you can search the whole membership database, of course, leaving that blank. And you can pull them up, click on the picture, and you'll get any information that they've put in there and have allowed other members to see. And you'll all have those profiles within the next 24 hours, and you'll be able to go in there and fill that out. Other things that are available in the member info site, the member info side of the website, member interest, you can sign up for things you're interested in. And that'll just allows us to sort of target some of the emails that might go out rather than mass email everybody on something some aren't interested in. So take a look at that. GPX files and club files can be found in through here. So it's basically a document library, so you just got to drill down through the menus to find it. The GPX routes are in here for the last several years, if you can see those there. For 2019, nothing yet, but you can search through those for all the club rides that we've had in the past, if you're interested in taking a look. And if you click on it, you'll see there's a minor description in there as to what that entails. So at your own time, you can take a look at that. The guided ride rules are in there, update for 2019. Some training resources and vendors in the area that was available on Facebook, I believe, as a downloaded document is now in here. So sort of member recommended courses and things that have been, talked about. Members have taken the courses and had a really good experience. You'll find that information here, along with some comments that the members may pass on to us. So if you have something and you want to submit a suggestion or a comment, you can use the form here and do so, and just pass that on to us, and we'll make sure it gets put on the site. And of course, vendors are a similar sort of setup, where we've got some local vendors set up where you can go on there and see some member recommended places to get things. Bruce Cole's actually got his own presence on there, and so on. So Bruce Cole Incorporated. Yeah, there you go. Over to you.
So tomorrow when you get your email, you're going to log in and go into your member info.
So your member profile up here.
Into your profile there. And we're just going to ask you to take a look at under the personal information, updating your contact info, and your additional member data is things like which bike you have, and various interests that you have in other memberships and so forth. Come over onto the website section to the right, where the member interests are, and indicate as much as you choose to there. And then down at the bottom you'll notice a little bit on forums. So if you are someone that might like to participate in forums, back here on your member profile is where you can indicate the things that you are most interested in. Our goal being to be able to target you in a good way, with a limited amount of information that is actually relevant to the things that you have expressed an interest in, rather than just sort of peppering everybody with everything. And then in the center there under user manual, Jeff is just wiggling around there. If you would like, there's a little brief video that you can watch about how this system works. And it's a generic video by Club Express, the company that has this whole membership engine. But it does give you a rundown and a refresher on anything from tonight.